Don is a standout contractor, and he's a stand-up guy. I am proud to have worked alongside of Don, and now have the honor to introduce Don Langston as your incoming ACCA chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2017 Chairman of the Board of ACCA, Don Langston.
I wanted to thank Steve and congratulate Laura for a job well done. You know, as Steve has pointed out, we've had accomplishments, a lot of them this year. But there is still a lot of work left to be done. And I'm poised to take on the challenge that we face. The HVACR industry is great. It's a great career path for young people. And as your incoming chair for ACCA, I want to really help millennials understand what our industry is all about. How they can have a good paying job that will always be in demand. To do it without having to go to a four-year college and take on needless student debt. It's also a win-win for us contractors, because without new talent coming into our businesses, our ability to grow now and in the future is really limited. This challenge has turned into a mission and a passion for me to tell this story. One of the biggest constraints for I think all of our businesses is really dealing with not the lack of money and financial capital, it's human capital. We are a people-centric business. As many of you know, when we talk in these groups, we complain about trying to find people, and our workforce is aging. Literally, if you look around this room, it's almost, you know, it's a gray tsunami. And that tsunami is rolling through our industry and other skilled trade industries also. As our experienced installers and technicians retire, that knowledge and skill gap is widening. I see it personally in my business, and I'm sure many of you have someone you know that has retired this year. And we're losing all that knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, we're really rapidly losing this tribal knowledge acquired through decades of hard work. New installers and technicians are entering our industry at about 50% of the replacement rate that we need for those that are retiring. These are staggering statistics. Our career path literally in our industry is under the radar. A lot of people don't even know about it. And we need to change that. How many people in our industry, when you think about it, and you ask those around you, how many actually said, I want to go into commercial or residential air conditioning, I want to do indoor comfort, I want to install systems? Very few of them will actually do that. It's friends, it's neighbors, it's relatives. That's how they, I hate to say it, they kind of fall into it, right? In my opinion, our industry has a public relations problem, and it's an awareness problem. When it comes to recruiting young people, training them and turning them into being profitable technicians, literally, we are in an industry that needs an extreme makeover. Only then can we effectively recruit, train, motivate the next generation of workers. The career path needs to be communicated. It really needs to be communicated. Their ability to, as far as this next generation, to influence, improve, and impact the comfort and performance of systems and equipment that they install and maintain and service. There's a lot of job responsibilities. The job is physical. It's challenging many months of the year, as we know. We got to actually get people off their asses and they want to work. They actually want to work with their hands. But for those that like to work with their hands, it's a great career choice. We all know people can earn a very good living. They can earn great money and provide a very good standard of living for themselves and their families. I know this for a fact because in my company, on a regular basis, I get phone calls, I get emails from our technicians and installers who share how they were able to buy their very first house. A lot of it's their first in their generation to do so. And it's gratifying to know that we're actually helping to improve people's lives as we take care of customers. There's so much more in our industry, though, than just comfort cooling, that we really need to be able to promote that. If you think about it, we are a critical link in the entire chain of our modern society. Think of the impact of not only having an air conditioning unit working at a cell tower. All our cell phones, we lose connectivity. What about supermarkets? Think about all the perishable foods that are moving across this country and being stored. Pharmaceutical industry, hospitals. I mean, the list goes on and on. We are a critical link in all our sections of the economy. Our careers cannot be outsourced to China or Mexico. Robots can't climb on roofs, or at least not yet. Many warehouses and manufacturing jobs are being automated. And those jobs are permanently going away. That can't be done to our industry, though. Think about it. It's been said that Amazon is killing more retail jobs as they're being replaced, brick and mortar shopping is being replaced with online shopping. Then there's other countries where there are low-wage manufacturing. That really puts us at a very distinctive vantage point that should be highlighted, and not a lot of people know about us. Ladies and gentlemen, this trend is only going to accelerate if we do not do something. Our industry provides many, many great career paths, but they're not easy. It takes an investment in our people and our industry, and we must train them to acquire the knowledge, to develop the proficient skills, to use the tools required to be successful in the 21st century. So what happens? We spend all this time training our people because we need to do it. But what happens if we train them and they leave? Okay? Well, what happens if we don't train them and they stay? Having the knowledge and the skills alone without developing and fostering the future workers with a desire and a passion for solving complex problems and helping people will leave us with a lukewarm workforce. We have to make a long-term commitment, a national commitment to this effort. We need to start with kids in their 7th and 8th grade, even 6th grade. By the time these kids are starting high school, we need to steer them, plant those seeds to put a basic vocational hands-on training in their minds. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to get to their parents too. We need to educate those parents of the benefits of our industry as a professional career path for their children. It can be an alternative in many instances that is just as good, if not better, than a 4-year college career degree. We need to help break the stigma in academia that have created that mechanical skilled trades are looked down upon, that they are only there for those that just aren't quite smart enough to go to college. That just burns me, as you can tell. We just all know that's not true. High school career counselors need to be educated and given the resources through ACCA and others about the benefits of our industry. We need to make a concentrated effort to reach out to your local high schools and bug those counselors and attend career days. A lot of high schools have those career days. And just to get in there, if we've got to kind of bull our way in there to try and find the next generation of talent, we need to do it. Our government needs to provide a proportional level of credit for those students who graduate high school and maybe not go to college right away, but go to a 2-year vocational program like at a junior college, community college. Give them that same credit that these high school counselors would get for sending someone off to a four-year school that most of them don't even graduate anyway. But they get credited for that, these counselors. It's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Many of our high schools have failed our kids when it comes to providing them with vocational schools, having the vocational skills and exposure through, we'll call them shop classes for right now. I have visited many of these schools that have shop classes. Nice equipment, all cloth over, they're mothballed, and they do that because they don't have a lack of funding for shop classes. It's just disgusting. Let me just give you a quick story. I make it a point to attend these high school career days. When I talk to young people and I tell them that they can earn what they can earn, the flexibility and choices available in our industry, their jaws literally drop. There are many career events where parents accompany their kids, and I have a chance to talk to the parents, and I'll say, how would you like it if your kid could go through like a 2-year program through a vocational college program, and at the end of that, they could start off making $15, $20 an hour. It's going to vary around parts of the country, but think about it, right? Can they do that? Good possibility. It happens for me. I'm out in California, and we won't go into California, but it's a land of fruits and nuts, but most of the nuts are imported, let me tell you. So how would you like to get them, talking to the parents, how would you like to get your kids, here's the other financial incentive here. How would you like to get your little Johnny and Janie on their own feet financially and out of your houses sooner? That tends to get them to kind of lean forward a little bit. How would you like to know they're going into a career path or a career that's growing, that's in short supply of skilled labor? Knowing that these jobs cannot be, and these careers cannot be outsourced. They're not going to be obsolete. These skills are going to be theirs, their skills. If they're internal, they're not going to be something external. And employers around the country and even worldwide are looking to hire them. All these benefits without a 4-year college degree and without a huge amount of college debt, right? The reaction ranges from disbelief to anger when I have these conversations because they just didn't know we were out here. They didn't know anything about our industry. We've got to change that. So it's up to us to ensure that these young folks know about our industry. So let me talk to you about green-collar jobs. We all know about blue-collar, right? We're all familiar with blue-collar jobs. Blue-collar jobs are sometimes looked on as menial labor. Well, we know different. We know that most blue-collar jobs require a high level of craftsmanship. I intend to make the centerpiece of my ACCA chairmanship about redefining and rebranding our industry. The value of these green-collar career paths is that they will provide for families, communities, our country, and for our environment massive benefits. I plan to push initiatives that link green-collar careers to delivered efficiency. So let me talk quickly about delivered efficiency. It's the ability to maximize the cooling or heating being delivered into a conditioned space. Ladies and gentlemen, most systems only deliver about 50% of the efficiency into a conditioned space. ACCA was part of a study a couple of years ago called the Annex 36 report. And in that report, they showed a series of faults and different things that would happen to a system. If the ductwork's not designed right or has problems, it really impacts the efficiency. If the refrigerant charge is not correct, it impacts efficiency. Most systems that have been done, and I've done over 500 through my company personally, are running in that 50% range. So if there's a 10-ton package unit on a roof and it's only delivering 5 tons of effective cooling into space, but they're paying for 10 tons of cooling. California, as an example, has the second highest electrical rates in the country. We're only behind Hawaii. Well, we get Hawaii, they're an island. So why is California the second highest? Well, we can talk more about that when I get off the stage, because I'm already on a soapbox and I don't want to get any further. I use the term green-collar careers when I talk to high school students. And once again, this is a rebranding of what a typical HVAC technician's job looks like. Our industry can be a huge partner impacting the environment. It can be an educational renaissance for a generation that are now called swipers. Right? That's what they're calling the high school kids now, swipers, because that's what they do on their phones, right? So working with that generation that are using smartphones. It is a big and growing component. It can be a big and growing component of the workforce for the 21st century. So many aspects of day-to-day life are powered by electricity. We all know that. Anything that's being delivered more efficiently will reduce the use of power, save energy, and save money. We as an industry, we have an impact on almost 40% of a typical house or building's energy consumption. We are in the best position to be the solution providers for the 21st century, and yet we really, as an industry, don't get that. And that's one of the things I'm here to talk about and what I'm going to promote for our industry. We should be proud of who we are, what we do, and the impact we can have for our country in so many ways. But this future that we're talking about, or I'm going over, is already here. It's here and now. HVAC is often the biggest drag and problem on the electrical grid. We all know about blackouts. We all know about brownouts. Well, guess what causes it? Our equipment, right? And if it's not working right, that just puts a bigger strain on the grid. It is important for technicians to know how a system performs, that their jobs are more than just turning a wrench. The term green collar is based on the impact that technicians can have on operating efficiency and the delivered efficiency of complete systems. It doesn't matter if it's residential, doesn't matter if it's a commercial system, they both impact indoor comfort, air quality, and energy efficiency. There are terms like system optimization and performance benchmarking. These are skills that go beyond hand tools. They require sensors and meters to validate how much power is being used, the level of comfort being delivered into a conditioned space. We are all moving from middle-skilled technicians to highly skilled craftsmen. Doesn't that sound like a better term? We're craftsmen at what we do. We should be proud of what we do, the work that we do. This is the best of the best in our industry. And we should be proud that we are craftsmen at what we're doing. We're not low-cost providers, are we? All right. Do I get an amen or a hallelujah? All right. Just make sure you're all there. All right. I got all these lights. I can't see anyone who's sleeping. All right. I would like to share just a quick story here about how green-collar careers are cool and important. Once again, I'm referencing the high school kids. So I was at this high school fair. I had a solar panel. I had a 12-volt battery. I had a 12-volt compressor. And it was running. It was just running off the battery. So as kids would walk by and they would see all the other booths, I've got fans moving. I've got activity going on. So they'd stop by and they would, they're curious. And so here's this little compressor. It's about yay big. I had 2 cups, stainless steel cups, wrapped with copper, some soft copper tubing. One to, conduct the heat, and one, another one's absorbing it. So one is heating the cup of water and one's cooling it. We were running this system off the grid. It was just off a battery, just using solar power. Kids would walk by and they would look at that and they'd ask me, well, what's going on here? I said, hey, you can be involved in keeping people cool, lowering energy costs, and having a positive impact on the environment. Many of these students were excited and intrigued and wanted to know more. So this is the challenge. From an education perspective, how can we get more people trained as green collar in a green collar career path? I would like to challenge, and I need your help. I'd like to challenge high school counselors to recommend a 2-year HVAC community college program or something equivalent, or some apprenticeship model for certain students that may not be, they're more mechanically inclined, right? They may not know what they're doing, but at least give them that fighting chance. It's to help them understand it's just as worthy, it's just as great of a career path as most kids that are going to college that don't even graduate. We need this to develop productive citizens that are paying their taxes, right? And who can earn a good wage and have a good quality of life. I think high schools in general have been failing some of our students for a long time. There's a mantra to get everyone to go to college because trade skills are often kind of looked down upon. But carpentry, electrical, masonry, plumbing, and HVACR, these are real skills. We fixed, well, I was going to say something. We fixed a lot of stuff. And these are skills that are needed in the real world, not in some virtual world. I asked a high school principal, how can you with good conscience do that to young people? How can you just try and push them all to college? Now, there's a lot of, I didn't get a very good answer either, but I won't get into that conversation. But there's a bunch of people who go off to college, and a lot of them will graduate, but some don't. But they end up with a mountain of debt, and they're working at Starbucks. Where is our federal government in understanding the importance of a green collar, an HVAC career path, and how it impacts and how we can help with energy efficiency? Our country would be more secure if we were able to improve efficiency. We want to encourage more than just, hey, it's college, or would you like fries with that shake, right? A successful apprenticeship model has been done for many years. Germany is a great example of it. There's other countries that do it too, that promote skilled trade apprenticeship models. We should too. So let's begin with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey says. What is our desired outcome? We want to get the millennial generation, right, which is the biggest generation coming up now. They're going to be 65% of our workforce within the next 6 or 7 years. The Gen Xers, that's one of the smallest groups of people that have been out there for many generations. So the millennials need to be able to be acclimated into our industry as quickly as we can and help them understand the career path that's in front of them. We need to invest and do the right things for the right reasons. So what is the cost of doing nothing for our industry? Well, we're already seeing it. It's a shrinking workforce. We're fighting with each other for technicians, right? It's a shrinking pie. And all our businesses are suffering, are going to even suffer more in the future. We need to change the path we're on. So as I start my year as chairman, I want to encourage you to get involved. We need all of you to be part of these changes, because together we can change this tide. So I want to thank all of you for this opportunity. It's an honor. Whew. And I look forward to starting the journey. Thank you.